What do you think?
Ridiculous, lad.
Are you sure? You agree or disagree?
Totally disagree.
Let me ask you a couple of questions.
Work away.
Come on over.
Work away.
So, what if somebody's kicking a dog and having fun doing it? Good or bad?
Terrible, bad.
What about fox hunting, bullfighting, that type of thing?
Don't like it at all.
Bad.
Bad.
What about taking an animal to a slaughterhouse, hanging them upside down, cut their throat, turn them into a burger, one you can eat?
That's
A plant-based version instead.
Yeah, well, I was vegan for a long time, but I would say it is slightly different than just pure abuse, yeah.
Why is it different?
Why
I'm not
is
trying to catch you out, by the way, because I didn't always be...
Yeah.
I am vegan and I'm an animal rights activist.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's different?
From the abuse point of view of the people who are doing it, most of them believe the media that they're told that they need it to survive for a health. So the idea is it's them or me, and they're determined they're choosing the lesser of the two evils.
Yeah.
Because
But
most people believe what they're told.
yeah, it's true. It's true. But the fact is that we don't need it for survival.
Yeah,
And if it's not necessary,
yeah.
well then what would the justification be then?
Yeah, well, see, I would be a what's it called whole foods,
Yeah.
plant based.
That's how I eat, just to be...
Which is far healthier. The whole idea now is they're trying to push insects, grasshoppers, cockroaches, whatever. The same idea will then apply to them. The idea is you put them through a muncher and make them into powder so you can eat them. So no, I fully get your point.
Did you, and genuinely I'm not trying to catch you out, I'm only here to have conversations with people. The sign is to get people into a conversation, because I believe most people would never harm an animal themselves. But when you buy the product, you're literally paying somebody to do something you would never do yourself. Did you say you used to be vegan? And what's changed there?
Maybe laziness. My wife's not vegan, and then what happens is you go to friends' houses, and then what happens is they put me. So it used to be when I went out for something to eat with friends, it was always soups or bean products, soy products you would have tried to consume. But a lot of times whenever you go to people's houses,
How long ago was this, by the way, if you don't mind me asking?
I would say 3 years. Three years ago, so I was vegan probably for 4 years. But then I would say I would be plant-based because I don't like the term vegan.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I get that. It can be used in a negative way or a positive way.
Yeah, vegan. Chips are vegan.
Yeah.
Alcohol's vegan.
Yes.
There's a lot of things which are vegan, but they're just chemicals. They're not
Yeah,
actually.
and I think people overuse the word vegan. Like, I just say to people, some people are, I had vegan casserole last night, and I had vegan ice cream, and then I had vegan chocolate. I just say I had chocolate, and I had a stew, and I had, vegan food is food. That I agree with you there. The convenience side of things, I get it, but first thing I would say to you is a lot has changed in 3 years. There's so much vegan food available now, and all the restaurants are catering to vegan.
A lot of them are. I think what the difficulty is, again, you're way up. A lot of the products which I saw whenever I went vegan, so I went more plant-based rather than vegan. A lot of the vegan food is muck. It is just chemicals upon chemicals. You're probably looking at things like flora, where it's only 4 ingredients away from plastic. They need to make it more.
I get it.
Healthy.
I mean, health-wise, you don't even need to eat alternatives. And I eat them very occasionally. If I'm making like Thai food or curry or anything like that, I just use chickpeas and lentils and sweet potatoes, and I eat whole foods plant-based. But many people don't. You care about your health.
Yeah, absolutely.
I care about my health. Many people don't. Either don't care at all or don't care too much. They just want tasty food. So if the alternatives are there for those people, and if it's a choice between eating a sausage that's made from a pig that's been thrown into a gas chamber, or it's made from TVP or whatever it's made from, well then that's an easy choice, I think. So yeah, that's why I'm here. And again, if you go into a friend's house, most people know, I mean, you can just replace, you're not replacing a whole meal, it's replacing one thing, and if they don't have it, you could take it with you, I'm not telling you what to do, by the way.
No, I enjoy the conversation, because there's very few people I know who are vegan for health or plant-based for health. A lot of it is for taking a stance against certain.
Well, to be clear, I am vegan for the animals 100%, but it does come with health benefits. So, I mean, you'll know this already, saturated fat, cholesterol, antibiotics, all sorts of crap. Those things are all bad for you, and they're the reason most of the people are lying up in the hospitals with diabetes and heart disease and stuff. Diseases that exist. There's no ward up in the Royal Hospital, the City Hospital, for people with protein deficiency and calcium deficiency because of vegan. That just does not happen.
You keep the whole protein argument, it's become a fashion trend. You know, the idea, if you look at what at the moment, protein ice cream, protein yogurt, protein Mars bars, protein chocolate, it'll probably be protein crisps next. So the media.
And whey powder used to be a waste product.
Yeah.
Now they've turned it into a very expensive, easily transportable, lightweight product that they can ship around the country and charge people an absolute fortune for. So they are selling you that you need protein. Most people you talk to, if you ask them how many grams of protein they eat in a day, they wouldn't have a notion.
Well, a lot of people believe will push that you need a minimum of 1 to 1.5 to 2 because we're in this health pandemic at the moment with, everybody's into sports and nutrition. A lot of it is people believe the media. So if the media tell you to go out and lick the ground enough times, people will do it.
People don't listen or read the science. They don't believe what the science tells them. They believe what the TV tells them. I agree with you 100%. But again, it's the same with all. I mean, we're told from we're young, animal products, you need it for protein, you need it for calcium, you need it for vitamin B12 or whatever. That's absolute nonsense, man. I haven't eaten an animal product since I was 19. I'm 55 now. I'm thriving on it.
What changed your mind?
Always loved animals when I was young.
Okay.
And then...
Here in Northern Ireland?
Oh, I've always loved animals since I was knee-high to a grasshopper. I seen a cow escape from a slaughterhouse when I was about 10 years old. Didn't know what was happening, asked my dad, but I still ate meat. And then it was just a gradual process of giving up one thing after another. But I genuinely believed I had to eat some animals for protein to survive. I thought it was part of our diet. And then when I was about 19, I found out otherwise, and I would say I was very strict vegetarian because I was still wearing leather, because I thought it's just a byproduct. You tell your things these myths, and there was no internet in those days to find out. But then 10 years ago, I watched a speech on YouTube by a guy doing a university tour in America, a guy called Gary Yourofsky. I'll give you a wee card with it on before you go. Speeches sound really boring. I'm not particularly into speeches. It's about 40 minutes long, and 5 minutes in, I was like, what am I doing? I have no justification here for eating animals when I can just eat something else. I don't have to wear their skin because I can just wear vegan leathers. And I just went vegan overnight, man, and threw everything out of the house. And
well, did you watch the documentary The Game Changers?
I've seen Game Changers. It's on my card too that I'm going to give you in a second. Cowspiracy, have you seen that?
Forks Over Knives, is it? Is that what it's called? It's been that long since I watched it. Michael Greger, 80-10-10.
Oh, Michael Greger, yeah. Dr. Neil Bernard, I read all those guys. Caldwell, Esselstein, T. Colin Campbell, I've read all their stuff, the China Study. But man, can I say something to you that sounds judgmental? I'm genuinely see, when you come at it from a health angle, it's about you. But when you come at it from what the animals are going through, and if you go and I've been and seen what they go through. I personally have not personally experienced it, but personally seen it with my own eyes. If you've seen what they suffer, man, that's where it sticks. I've been to the gas chambers here. Do you know that's what we do to pigs in Northern Ireland? I've been and listened to them screaming, man. It's freaking horrendous. Like, I feel like crying talking about it. It's so bad.
Do you find more people are supporting the cause, or what do you find?
There's definitely more vegans about. I know loads of vegans, and that's very anecdotal. But you go into the supermarkets, look how many plant-based milks there are now. Look how many vegan sections there are. Like Tesco's, there's 4 or 5. There's the dairy section and the meat section and the frozen section. So it's all over the supermarkets now. You go into Starbucks and Nero, 3 different types of plant-based milks. Nero have about 10 vegan options, including cheesecake, vegan sausage rolls, tea cakes, all sorts of stuff.
I would just try and tell people go plant-based. I whenever you look into a lot of the products, you don't even understand what they are. You know the ingredients. Just tell people to keep
equally, but with meat products. And there's half the stuff in meat products as well. Never mind the saturated fat cholesterol, but you look into a sausage, for example, man, it's about 10% actual meat. And then what?
Vulcanite agents. Yeah.
Chicken the same. They use bleach in it. They pump it out with water, all sorts of stuff. So the animal products. I'm not telling you a vegan diet is super healthy. I'm telling you, a whole foods plant-based diet is super healthy, and that's the way everybody should eat. But in the absence of everybody not caring about their health, well, at least go vegan for the animals, man. That's how I see it.
No,
and then they don't have to
appreciate
suffer.
Appreciate your point of view, and appreciate somebody taking the time to talk about it, because very few people are
I'm just here to have a conversation with people, man. I don't expect people to go vegan on the spot. If I can plant a few seeds, give you a card, and you can go away and watch something and see what you think. And I mean, you've been vegan before, so you're kind of jammed up already and halfway there, man. It's not a big step.
Like even every personal preference, but every day for my tea, I would just have a vegetable soup with salad. You know, some potatoes and a vegetable soup. I would have that six days a week. In the morning, it's just oats with water.
What animal products do you use now, or what have you reintroduced?
Normally a small bit of chicken. That there would be it. Say if it went to somebody's house and they put it in front of me, I would generally eat it maybe 3 times a year. But at the most part, people always laugh at me whenever I say I live on porridge oats with blueberries and grapes. And
every single morning I have porridge. I have porridge with almond milk, put blueberries, maple syrup on it, a few raspberries if they're not too expensive in the supermarket.
Almond milk, but again, it was the idea. I couldn't even tell you what was in it. Yeah. Some of the almond milk is just water, almonds, salt water, almond, but some of them.
I use the Khalifa stuff. It's really good. Just on the chickens, I've been in the barns and seen them. Mm-hmm. The Cornish cross we use here, man, they suffer terribly. I just want to prick your conscience on that wee bit if you don't mind. The Cornish cross grow from chick to fully grown in 48 days. Mm-hmm. They grow so fast. They're bred to grow so fast. Their limbs can't support their weight. Yeah. So a lot of them will collapse, and they're just lying on what kind of resembles cat litter that goes in at the start. So they're lying in their own urine, burns their skin. So I don't know if you've ever seen them going into Moy Park or some of these places on the trucks, man.
But
they're
I've
all
seen the trucks on the road,
their skin is red raw, their feathers are burnt off them. Yeah. Some of them have collapsed, some of them are caught in the cages with their head and feet trapped, man. It's absolutely horrendous. You know, if you can eat a vegan alternative or tofu or anything else rather than pay for that, that's what I'm trying to ask people to do.
I'll definitely give it a thought. I'll definitely give it a lot of consideration.
I appreciate that, man. What's your name, by the way?
Simon.
My name's Cliff, and I'm going to give you a card now before you go. Cliff. And I'm going to go home after I speak to you because I'm freezing standing here. So here's the card.
Thank you very much.
This is my Instagram here. That's my YouTube.
No problem.
Game Changers, Cowspiracy. You've seen these. Yeah. These are resources. The 30 Days 30 Excuses is like the things people say. Oh, well, I need more protein or I need more calcium, and those are the answers to it. But the one I'm going to ask you to watch, the best speech you'll ever hear. Yeah. It's free to watch on YouTube. Yeah. Remember the name Gary Yourofsky if you can.
Gary Yourofsky.
Just look it up. He's actually a Jewish guy. He's an Israeli guy, but he was doing a university tour in America, like all the big universities. He did like 300 of them. Yeah. Man, he's the best speaker I've ever heard in my life. I've never been affected by a speaker so much. He's really powerful and articulate, and he just lays it out.
So is that one on YouTube?
It's on YouTube, yeah. I've got a new card with the link and stuff on it, but these I'm using up the last of my old cards. So, Gary Yourofsky, man, he's unbelievable. It's an excellent speech. It says at the start he's a terrorist, by the way, but he's not a terrorist.
They always say that about people.
Yeah, no. He went to Canada and let some mink out of a mink farm and released him. And in Canada, if you
go against
affect the business... Hi Connor, how are you, man? In Canada, if you cost the business money, you're a financial terrorist. Yeah. So he's banned from some countries, but the guy's a really good guy. And the speech changed my life, and maybe if you watch it, it might do for yours as well, man.
No problem. Thank you.
Simon, yeah?
Yep.
Appreciate you, man.
You look
after
yourself. Thank you.